Did you know that bees are responsible for 1 out of every 3 bites of food we eat? It's true, these tiny creatures play a monumental role in sustaining human life on Earth. Their tireless work as pollinators ensures the reproduction of countless plant species, including a vast majority of the fruits, vegetables, and nuts that make up our diets. Bees are incredibly hardworking and efficient pollinators. As they buzz from flower to flower, collecting nectar and pollen, they inadvertently transfer these tiny grains of life. This process of pollination is what allows plants to produce seeds and fruits, ensuring the continuation of their species. Without bees, our supermarkets would look drastically different. Imagine a world with significantly fewer apples, almonds, berries, and countless other delicious and nutritious foods. The impact on global food security would be devastating, potentially leading to widespread food shortages and malnutrition. The importance of bees extends far beyond our dinner plates. Their pollination services are essential for maintaining biodiversity and the health of our ecosystems. By supporting the growth of diverse plant life, bees indirectly support countless other species that rely on these plants for food and shelter. Bees are perfectly adapted for their crucial role as pollinators. Their fuzzy bodies are covered in tiny hairs that attract and collect pollen grains. As they move from flower to flower, their bodies brush against the flower's reproductive organs, transferring pollen and enabling fertilization. The relationship between bees and flowers is a remarkable example of symbiosis, a mutually beneficial partnership where both organisms benefit. Bees rely on the nectar and pollen provided by flowers as their primary sources of food. In return, flowers benefit from the bees' pollination services, which allow them to reproduce and thrive. This intricate dance of life between bees and flowers has been honed over millions of years of evolution. The diversity of bee species, each with its unique size, shape, and tongue length, reflects the incredible specialization that has evolved to match the diverse array of flowering plants on our planet. The loss of bees would disrupt this delicate balance, leading to a cascade of negative consequences for entire ecosystems. The decline of plant populations would impact herbivores, which in turn would affect carnivores higher up the food chain. The decline of bee populations worldwide is a cause for serious concern. Scientists estimate that nearly 90% of wild plants and 75% of global crops depend on pollination, primarily by insects like bees. The loss of these vital pollinators would have dire consequences for food security, biodiversity, and the health of our planet. Without bees, our agricultural systems would face unprecedented challenges. Farmers would need to rely heavily on alternative pollination methods, such as hand pollination, which is labor-intensive, time-consuming, and often less effective than natural pollination by bees. The cost of producing fruits, vegetables, and other pollinator-dependent crops would skyrocket, making them inaccessible to many. The consequences of bee decline extend far beyond our plates. The loss of plant diversity would lead to a decline in habitat and food sources for a wide range of animals, causing ripple effects throughout entire ecosystems. This loss of biodiversity would weaken the resilience of our planet's natural systems, making them more vulnerable to climate change and other environmental threats. The potential collapse of food webs and ecosystems would have profound implications for human health and well-being. Our access to essential nutrients, medicines derived from plants, and the natural resources we depend on would be jeopardized. The consequences of inaction are too great to ignore. Protecting bees and other pollinators is not just an environmental issue, it's a matter of global food security and human survival. Fortunately, there are steps we can take to address the threats facing bees and create a more hospitable world for these essential creatures. One of the most significant threats to bees is the widespread use of pesticides, particularly neonicotinoids, which have been linked to bee deaths and colony collapse disorder. Reducing or eliminating the use of these harmful chemicals in agriculture is crucial for protecting bee populations. Habitat loss due to urbanization and intensive agriculture is another major challenge for bees. Creating bee-friendly habitats by planting pollinator gardens, preserving wildflower meadows, and reducing our reliance on vast monocultures can provide bees with the food and shelter they need to thrive. Supporting local beekeepers and buying honey and other bee products from sustainable sources helps promote beekeeping practices that prioritize bee health and well-being. Educating ourselves and others about the importance of bees and the threats they face is crucial for driving meaningful change. Protecting bees requires a collective effort. By making conscious choices in our daily lives, supporting sustainable practices, and advocating for policies that protect pollinators, we can all play a role in ensuring a future where bees continue to thrive and sustain life on Earth.